Yes. All right. Hello. Hi. My name is Michael. You might actually hear some other people naming me Michal because it's actually my original name. I'm from Poland, and the reason I use my English version of my name is simply it's close to Michal, and then it gets a bit confusing. So I think that's a lot easier. Okay, a bit about me. Well, that's me 3 years ago. A few months less. Actually, I started my career some time ago working in traditional advertising. I used to do a lot of design, print advertisements, advertising campaigns, that kind of stuff. Then I moved to digital world about 3 years ago, and I moved to Malaysia. In Malaysia, I joined a very cool, hip and cool company called Mind Valley, based in KL. They are basically an online marketing company marketing personal growth products in the US. I spent about a year and a half doing mostly search engine optimization, which is just ensuring that their websites are ranking high in Google search results. After that, I actually, right now I'm a freelance consultant, plus I actually serve the remote role of a general manager for online communications for an enterprise satellite internet provider. So it's a B2B, I moved from online marketing, hippie stuff, to B2B, hardcore stuff. Here's our mission in Mars simulation in Morocco this year. So I've been actually quite lucky to have been working in many different areas, consulting many different companies on how to do online marketing. Okay, so what is it all about? I mean, what's the potential like? I know Lingish already mentioned some numbers from Malaysia. Some of this might overlap what I'm gonna present here. But my key goals here to you is to present two things. To help you understand how big the potential is in the online world, and secondly, how to begin and how to think about doing business online. Because the thinking is actually everything. If you have the right approach, you can succeed online, even if you don't really know all the technical stuff, but you know where to look for the information, where to find the details, where to find people who can help you. Okay, so first of all, how people are using online. First, actually, the reason internet was born was to share information, and it started off as a network of communicating and sharing information. And that's actually the reason Google succeeded so greatly, is because it is the entrance, it is the entrance page to all information gathered, and that's their mission actually, to have all the information stored. They have millions and millions of sites. You have people going to Google searching for different things. You have people going to Wikipedia and trying to find out, descriptions of more complex things. They check out their stocks. They check out the news. Basically, they look for different information. And I think in business you have to think the same way. Many businesses will make a mistake of just putting up a store or like a page. Hey, buy our product. And we all know that being this salesman, annoying salesman, is not really getting you anywhere in the real world, and it won't get you too far in the online world unless your products are very desirable. You mentioned, I remember, of insurance trying. This is a cool example where you actually have to shift the mindset before people actually will buy in. So the more information you share, and if you can provide something really useful, if you can actually teach people, then it's a lot easier to sell them on your products, on your services. Okay, obviously, people use it also to socialize, to connect with other people. So here are the 3 largest networks in the world. Facebook already passed over 1 billion active users. Google Plus is doing quite well, as you could see in the last presentation. And then you have Twitter. I think one thing I want to stress here, and I want to actually instill some caution in you whenever you try to go online, because social media this is social media are a great channel, but not for everybody. So, well, depending on your business model, you have to first think whether your business model fits in the social media, whether people would actually like to hear from you in the social media. One example was from my personal experience. I told you I'm working with a B2B company, and we have very little social activity because, I mean, I cannot imagine a person who would like to hear in their free time about the new satellite technology that's being deployed in Angola, right? This is not really a kind of a message you're going to post on Facebook and you're going to get a million shares. It has to be more down to earth. If you're doing something that's related to daily life, that might be a bit better. If you run a restaurant, if you're a dentist, if you're a person who works with people on a daily basis, and you can share something interesting that might alter or might help in their daily lives, social media is definitely for you. So think about how you fit in the scheme before you actually start splashing out money and wasting your time. Maybe perhaps there are some other areas you can spend it better. Okay, moving forward. Now, a very big channel has emerged lately, which is mobile. And as you could see in Lydia's presentation, more and more people are actually getting access to the internet everywhere. Like, I have my smartphone here, you have your smartphones there, you have laptops, you have tablets. People look for it on the go. So you have to think how your business fits in the mobile space. Can you launch, at least when you're designing your website, think, hey, if I'm going to have mobile users, are they going to find it easy to access my website on a tablet, on a smartphone? Should I create an app? Perhaps it's a good investment, not for everybody. But you have to think, hey, most of these people actually have the smartphones. If they go to my website, can they read it? Can they do what I want them to do? Can they find a phone number? Can they find a map? So these are the things you want to think about. So people obviously read the news, they navigate the world, they take photos wherever they go, and they actually look for information on the go. Today, this is a cool example of using traditional media. I know plenty of Malaysian companies, big, small, they still have this tradition of using, print or traditional media source like radio or TV, and they're not really open to getting online because if it's been working for them for a long time, they don't really feel, hey, why should I go to the website? This is a very cool example how we can merge the two using, for example, phones and mobile applications. So you don't have to, if you have established businesses and you've been using your ads and it's been working for you, I urge you not to stop doing this. But think about how you can enhance it, how you can expand it, and the online is the best area to do it. Now, here's a cool image that emerged a few weeks ago online, just to show you how big of a potential is here in this small region of yours. So here we have Malaysia, here we have not a very big circle. And in this area, you have more people than everywhere outside. So over half of the world's population is within 5 hours of flight, 5-6 hours of flight, and you're based here, in the center. And by the way, half of it is actually water. So if you consider how dense it is, there's a massive opportunity. And by the way, these are not the most developed markets in online. As you can see, only 15% of SMEs in Malaysia are online. The market for mobile devices or laptops or access to the internet is continuously growing here. Most of these here, you have US, Europe, they are pretty much saturated. Malaysia, or in fact, this whole region isn't. And you have more people, actually you have more than 10 times people than the US has in this region. So this is a potential customer group for you. Okay, so here are some statistics to show you how people are actually using media. Because only when you compare the advertising spend in whole Malaysia, online is only 1% of the overall advertising spend. So let's take all of the million companies, SMEs, and large companies together in Malaysia, all of their advertising spend for a year, only 1% of it is spent online. 99% is spent on TV, on press, on radio, and here, the largest bars or more, except Indonesia, in most countries, the time spent with different media weekly, everywhere almost, the internet tops second channel. To give you an example how it looks in saturated markets like UK, you would expect it to be about 30-35% in advertising spend. So clearly, there's a massive potential for you as business people. It's an indication, hey, there's no competition, or it's tiny, because companies aren't spending. And if you come to promote yourself online, you'll be ahead of those who haven't started yet. Because in a few markets there will be more competition. A few years there will be more competition. There will be better competition. And if you start today, you're ahead of those who start tomorrow, in a month, or in a year. And here you can see that every week, on average, people in Malaysia spend 20 hours online. And mind you, here we have TV and radio or print. I mean, you read newspapers, you watch TV. How long do the ads last? How long do you look at the ad and then press the button? 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. If you have a good, informative website, you can have a person read it for 5 or 10 minutes. If it helps, if it's useful, then you can grab their attention and deliver so much more than you could ever do using any of other channels. So this is actually a massive opportunity. Now, internet penetration in Malaysia, the English mentioned this already, it's about 61-62%, which gives us 18 million people. 18 million. And think about how many people does your business need to thrive or to grow. I don't think it's anywhere in millions. I mean, you'd love to have millions, but tens or hundreds give you a really good income in most cases. Now, how to go about getting yourself online. By the way, how many of you here actually have a business website already? Anybody? Okay, I don't see a forest of hands here, so I guess you're just making this decision, right? That's very good. Because when you create your website, you have to promote it in. You have quite a few ways to promote it. I'm going to mention three ways today. The first is search engine marketing, which is the easiest and the fastest. Not always the cheapest, but it's good to start with. English mentioned Google AdWords, and that's pretty much what it is about. Now, this chart here shows you the share, Google's share of all searches made online in Malaysia. Basically, it's a monopoly. Everybody, if they want to find information, they will go to Google. Now, you might have heard about search engine optimization. I've mentioned it earlier. Search engine optimization means that you do whatever you can to have your website rank high for the terms you want. Let's say if you're a restaurant in Kuantan. If somebody types in a restaurant in Kuantan, you want to be at top, right? You want to have good reviews, you want to be present there, you want to have your icon on the map, you want to be findable. We did it today. We wanted to find a seafood restaurant, seafood Kuantan. Oh, okay, let's go there. That's how it works. Now, when you start, it's very difficult to rank high because people don't know about you. So you have to start somewhere, and that's where AdWords come in. Because with AdWords, you get traffic, you get visitors from the moment you sign up to it. So you pay for every click. You don't pay per views. So let's say your ad is viewed 1,000,000 times. It's not gonna ruin your budget. You pay only for people who actually visited your site. Now let me show you an example of how it actually works. It's very simple. So here you have a person. He goes to Google. He types in a keyword, and he gets a result. Say here the keyword was learn English. Now you're going to notice that here at the top 3 results, as well as all of these results on the side, these are all ads. Now the ads, in short, I'm not going to go into too much detail in this presentation, but your position here is a function of your bid. So when you create your campaign, you say, "Oh, I can pay 1 ringgit per visitor," right? That's your max. That doesn't mean Google's actually going to charge you that much, because then Google looks, the algorithm verifies your website whether it is relevant. Let's say here's Learn English, and I have a landing page or a website about selling chickens. I mean, Google doesn't want people to rank here, right? It's irrelevant, and searchers have a bad experience. So you have to make sure that the page you're directing from your ad is actually relevant to the keyword. And that has a positive effect on both your position here as well as your cost. Because Google favors quality over money. So if you have a good quality website, you will pay a lot less than this 1 ringgit. You will pay maybe 20 cents, maybe 35 cents. Of course, everything depends on your competition. So today, if you don't have, if there's only one, if there's only 15% companies are online and only some of them are buying ads, that means there's little competition in most areas. And that means that the auction for clicks is going to have lower prices. If you want to advertise in the US, you will pay, I know that there are some keywords that can reach prices of $60, $70 or more per click. So some companies in some areas decide that it's profitable for them to pay $70 or $80 or $90 for 1 click that doesn't guarantee that any sale. That's how high the competitions can get in some markets. In some markets, not enough. Usually, for most keywords, the clicks will be within the vicinity, essentially from 10 cents to a ringgit. If it's more competitive, might be a bit more. So now the person clicks, and they go to a landing page. And I really want to draw your attention to this. Because in my consulting life, I've come across many companies which will ask, "Oh, hey, I want you to design a perfect AdWords campaign and make a killing of my product." And the first thing I ask, and many people won't ask this question, is what is your website? Have you actually designed it properly? Is it useful? Does it load fast? Is it nice? Because many companies will think, "Oh yes, I'm just gonna get something, and then some cheap blog for 5 ringgit is gonna do me some website," and then it's not working. And they can have the best campaign design. You might have the best written ads, you might have the best placements, everything's perfect. But when that person lands on a page that doesn't answer the question and doesn't actually prompt him to do anything, you'll leave and you burn your money. So really, your first focus should be on creating a valuable, good website. First is information, make it usable, make it informative, make it useful to people. And secondly, make it easy for them. Don't try to do too many things. Actually, it's better if you have one big button saying, "Hey, sign up here," or "Find me on the map." It's a lot easier if you have 10 buttons here. And I actually come across a company that had a menu here, up here, and another menu here, and it had banners here. And if I'm a visitor, what do I click? You have to think, what do you want them to do? If you run a restaurant, you want them to find you. If you're a doctor, you want them to send you an email asking about a visit. if you run an online store selling T-shirts, you want them to buy a T-shirt. You don't want them to sign up to your newsletter. That might be something to decide. You don't want them to like your Facebook. You want to make a sale. If they're happy, I guarantee they will find your Facebook page and they will like it. Okay, so moving on to search engine optimization, something you have to think about in longer term. And again, I don't know if you've heard anything about it. If you come across about some, if you come across some comment that will say, "Oh, yes, I'm going to, spam 10,000 links to your website right now." Well, don't buy into it. First of all, it might work super short term, but then another Google update comes in, as Google likes to update its search algorithm every few months. And believe me, many companies have found themselves gone. And I mean gone. They used to drive some traffic from nice keywords, and today not only they're gone, but it's very difficult for them to regain their authority. So don't try shortcuts, don't try to do shady stuff. It's not worth it. You're gonna get some short burst of interest, and that's it. So the way to think about search engine optimization is, again, going back to the first point I made. Make your website useful. Make your website interesting, make your website fun. Because if you do that, people will share it, people will link to it, people will like it, people will review it. And all of these contribute to your position somewhere here. You want to rank here high because it's free, right? It's free. But first you have to make the effort to build a quality website. So don't try shortcuts. Think what you focus on the key functionality and deliver it. That will guarantee your success here. Here's another example. I did a test search for a dentist in Kuantan, and you will see, especially if you have local businesses that for which location matters, you really want to be here. You want to use Google Places as well, because as a separate service, you have to just register your business with it, and then you have a chance to show up on a map here, so people can actually say, "Oh, that's close to my place," I'm going to click it, and then if they click on any of these buttons, they will take them to your Google Places page with your phone number and with your exact location. So it makes it a lot easier for them to find you. So be wary of that. You can do it anytime you like. Okay. Finally, going back to our social media. Actually, I think it says I mentioned a lot about it earlier. Apart from these three sites, depending on what sort of a business are you in, you might also look at all the social websites. If you have not always these broad big players will be good for you. If you have a very specialized business, better to stick with niche sites, forums, perhaps LinkedIn. If you have heard about LinkedIn. Okay, now LinkedIn is a professional social networking site, which basically means you can register your business there. Like a page, you can create a page, but most importantly, create your own personal profile. You can show off your skills there. You can connect with other people, make broader business connections. And a good thing about LinkedIn is that it also has a lot of discussion groups around topics of your potential business interest. So you can find partners there, you can find potential customers there. And it's all, well, most of it is free, really. Registration is free, your activity in the groups is free. If you want some enhanced features, they have some paid options. This is a very, very good opportunity, especially if you're doing B2B stuff, or you're working with other businesses, to find other business owners and partners. This is a very, very good website. Another website you might want to look at is if you're running a restaurant or a cafe or a bar or a pub. A lot of people have picked up on Foursquare. I don't know if you have heard of Foursquare. Foursquare is a different idea for a networking site. What it does, it rewards people for visiting your place. So it creates a game. Let's say I checked in the most times into your nice restaurant, I get I get to become a mayor, and I get special deals in your place. So business owners like it because it draws attention to people, draws attention of people, and makes them want to come back because all people want to be leaders. Hey, I love this restaurant. This is my favorite restaurant. I'm going to go there 50 times just to be the mayor and just to get a good deal. So that creates this kind of flow of people into it. Besides that, there's actually another way to be more easily found online. Still on the topic of social media, out of 17 million, nearly 18 million people, nearly 14 million people in Malaysia are on Facebook. And what's even more interesting, half of them are accessing Facebook on mobile. That means half of these people actually interact with other people on mobile. So if Facebook makes sense for your business, you better make sure that A, you are active on Facebook, and B, since they are using Facebook on mobile, your website is better be available on mobile as well. Today, luckily, we have a lot of good technologies that allow you to create one website that will have a responsive design that will adjust to the resolution. So regardless if somebody is on a 24-inch screen or a projector like here, or if they have a 5-inch screen or a 4-inch screen, your website will rescale and will be viewable and readable on a small screen. So if you're looking for web developers or companies which create websites, do ask about this option. It's actually not very difficult to execute, and it should be perfectly doable for you. So in one go, you don't have to create a special app. Or in one go, you can create a website that can serve all devices, and you have the problem of your head. Because if you do a website that is not responsive today, then 2 or 3 years down the road, you might find yourself, you must change your website for a responsive one. And that will incur cost, that will incur downtime on your website, and a lot of problems. So if social media makes sense for you, do take this into account. Okay, so how to succeed? Just a quick recap. Think about it. Half of all Malaysians, or 60% of Malaysians have access to the internet. Half of Facebook users are using mobile. But is your business as innovative? Are you thinking? Because it's actually quite of a paradox here in Malaysia. A lot of people are using the smartphones. A lot of people are using the laptops. A lot of people are using internet. But the companies they're in, they don't seem to be thinking that way ahead. They are more restrained. So be as innovative as your users, and you will get a good reward. Now, the second point I want to make is be genuine. And I come across plenty of common or like cheats, or people who are looking for shortcuts online just to make a career, just to make a quick buck. Don't do it. If you're genuine, and if you offer genuine advice, and people feel that it comes from you as a business owner, or as a business, as a brand, as a company, they will trust you a lot more. Don't try to be salesy, don't try to be too over-promoted, don't try to sell people every 3 minutes. Give something to them, try to teach them a bit, share some important information, interesting information, and you will get so much back in return. And finally, if you have a website, if you already have AdWords campaigns, if you have all of these, you have to remember about this final principle most businesses forget. It's all about testing and testing and testing. And by this, I mean you're never done with designing your website, and you're never done with designing your AdWords campaigns. If somebody says, oh yes, I'm just going to design you a perfect website and you're good for 5 years, it's a lie. Proper website and proper online marketing means constant progress, because you don't know how your people react, how your visitors react, until you actually see the numbers and check. Perhaps your sign-up button should be bigger. Perhaps they find it difficult to find the products in the store. Perhaps they stumble on the checkout. And if you don't track and you don't test, you will never know. And you might have, you think you have the best designed website, you invested a lot of money in. There might be one small glitch. Something's not working on one of the browsers, and you're going to lose money. Besides that, people get used to things after a while, and it's good to shake them up a bit to show that you're progressing. Always check, always try new things. Using online marketing is very, very, very easy. You can easily take one page and then create a copy of this page, modify it. And even in Google Analytics, there's a simple tool for that, it's called Content Experiments, and you can automatically direct a group of people to old version, a group of people to new version, and magical Google tools will show you which page performs better. Let's say you're generating signups, or perhaps it generates you more sales or more revenue. You will be able to track it, and at the end of the test, you will be able to see, that green button worked better than the orange one, or perhaps 197 was a better price than 199. If you don't test, you will never know it. Perhaps you're missing a huge opportunity in the market. So think of it as a process, not as a final, as a step that you do and that you take and you forget about it. Continuously improve. And with that, I wanted to leave you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask now or afterwards. Oh, I can share some insights with you afterwards if you want to follow up after this year. Any concerns? Any questions? Ideas?
Where are you from?
Yes.
Questions for the app. Okay.
Yes.
If I'm start a campaign, in between, if I want to modify the keyword,
Yes.
is it possible?
Yes.
I haven't tried that.
Of course. AdWords is actually completely flexible. So at any given point in time, you can pause your campaign, you can change your keywords, you can add your keywords, you can remove your keywords, you can modify your keywords. Any time, any minute, any second of the campaign.
And then the keyword must be relevant to my article.
Yes.
Or is it?
Keywords should be, so actually I would say your landing, because here's a word of advice. If you ever go into AdWords campaigns, never fall into a trap in directing people to your homepage. Think about, let's say we have this keyword, learn English, right? If you have a language school that offers 3 languages, if you direct people to the homepage, they will say, oh, learn German, learn Chinese, and learn English. That's not relevant. What you want to create is a landing page which is dedicated to this particular keyword group. So just create, okay, learn English, here's my schoolname.com/learn English, and there's a landing page where all people from your ads see only the relevant information. That's good for you because it lowers your costs, because it makes the page more relevant, and that actually increases your conversions because people don't have to browse around and look for more information.
So means that, let's say for the learn English,
Yes.
come to learn German, learn Japanese, it should be 3 different.
Yes. Yes. If you run a campaign with 3 different keywords in mind that are completely different, then you should have separate landing pages and direct learn English, learn German, learn Japanese, learn Chinese. So separate landing pages. Always be as relevant as possible. And always ask, especially in the case of AdWords, always try to ask people to do one thing. Don't encourage them, hey, we have a nice Facebook page, oh, hey, this is a newsletter, oh, maybe you want to check out our promotion. Don't do that. If you directed them to the landing page Learn English, just have one form, sign up. I want to learn more about your English, or I want to buy it now, I want to sign up. Just so they stay focused and don't drift away. Especially with AdWords. With websites it's difficult because you pack all of the options in your website and you encourage people to browse. But with advertising, you pay for the visit. So you want to get the most of your visit.
Okay, one more question.
Sure.
Some of the keywords, let's say learn English.
Yes.
Keywords.
Yes.
Okay. Another phrase, let's say learn English in Kuantan. Okay. What are your suggestions? Let's say I'm a local, I'm Kuantan.
Sure.
Let's say I have this tuition
Yes.
center. Should I go for like learn English, just a general keyword, or I should go for learn English in Kuantan?
Actually, with AdWords, you can do different things. You can actually go for both keywords. Actually, the more keywords, the better for you. But there's one word of advice and one word. If you use a keyword learn English in Kuantan, it's a safe assumption. It's very relevant to you. But if you use keyword learn English, you don't want people from KL to be viewing your ads, right? You don't want people from Penang to be viewing your ads because you're spending your money. But in AdWords, you can actually limit your campaign to a specific region or area. So you can select, I think in Malaysia, you should be able to select a list. Hey, I want only people from here.
Yes.
Right? Yes?
Region, even the very specific area.
Yes. Because I know some tools have been discontinued, but you can still narrow down to a small region. So you're always sure that only people from this area are looking for it. So if you have a very broad keyword like learn English, you know that only locals get to see it.
So inside I can really specify.
Yes.
Let's say only Pahang.
Yes.
Let's say you want to choose only Kuantan. You can post it in postcode. So you will download only Kuantan area. You say like this area, this gathering only, this town only, you can.
Because sometimes what confuse me because learn English, the searches is long.
Yes.
English in Kuantan, what they're talking about is 5 lessons.
Yes.
So you know which keyword.
Actually, the thing about have you used Google AdWords?
Actually, I intend to use it.
Okay.
But there's still some questions that I need to figure out because I want to waste my money.
Of course, no, that's understandable. Actually, when you use the keyword tool, what it does when you type in a keyword in AdWords, let's say you type in learn English, and there's a million searches. It's a broad search, which means that it's showing the volume of searches not only for this particular word, but also for all synonyms and all similar words, or longer phrases that contain learn English. So it's a safe assumption that if you choose learn English, and if you choose only learn English, and somebody types in their search box learn English in Kuantan, your ad should show there as well. Or you might make your ads more relevant by targeting smaller keywords. You say if you want only you want to reassure them when they land on the landing page that this language course is in Kuantan. So you can create 2 landing pages and basically, yes, this is in Kuantan, or this is here, or this is for 1,000 ringgit. So make it as relevant as possible.
I'm not sure how Google specify which user coming from which. I just noticed one thing. Let's say if I'm using a streaming, okay, the data show I'm from Kuantan.
Yeah.
But if I use like message, GBG, telco, or even T1, it actually show I'm coming from Malaysia. Okay, will that become a data mismatch?
That could become a mismatch for Google because Google basically the targeting of people based on their IP and location.
The telcos are showing
the telcos
different location.
Because the gateway is supposed to be like that.
So that might actually confuse us because they want to. That's the easiest way to find your location. Not much. But I mean, it's a safe assumption that most people do not. They should be okay. They should be identified correctly.
So means that if I put up AdWords campaign, I should target KL as well.
Yes.
Choose 2 regions.
You could.
Yeah.
Yes. You can actually create 2 different campaigns. one would be campaign for, because you can create multiple campaigns that are targeted at a specific region. So you can say, I have a KL campaign, I have a Kuantan campaign, I have a Penang campaign, all separate campaigns with all separate ads, separate sets of keywords. So you can chop it up and focus each campaign on its own.
The pricing for the, I mean, different region, the pricing will be different, or is it?
Well, it's always the pricing is it's always an auction, an automatic auction. So the algorithm will find the cost per click. So less competitive keywords will have lower cost, higher will be. So it's always automatic. We will get another reason why it's good to do AdWords campaigns in the first stages is that you get data immediately. So you are immediately able to see how people react on your website. And before you invest in building content and getting some links and building up your search position, you're actually able to see, oh, I need to fix this, or I need to fix that, because people drop off at this page or at that page, and those don't complete the sale. So you can immediately check whether your website is effective. Any more questions? Else? No? Okay. If you have any, you can always drop me a message. My website, at the moment, you can't find too much information, to be honest. It's xxic.com. Just you can always drop me an email at michael@xxic.com, or find me on Facebook. I'll be happy to help you out if I can. Okay.
Thank you.